Hello, I am Istaria, also known as Dahkeler in the Crypto.com community. I am an ambassador for Crypto.com and I am here to tell you about the different MCO Visa card tiers and why any and all of them are an excellent choice for you. If you already know everything there is to know about the company and what you need to do to get one of these cards, you can skip the early part. I have a timestamp in the beginning of the description that you can click on to get you to the interesting stuff. If you also know each and everything about the cards, I have made another timestamp for you that takes you to the very end, which is the part you probably came here for. Because it's also very possible that you stumbled upon this video by accident and don't have any clue about what I'm talking about, let's start with the very basics, which is the introduction and the product itself. This video refers to the MCO Visa card, which is a prepaid debit card offered by a global startup called Crypto.com. This is an amazing payment card because not only does it offer free interbank exchange rates, cash withdrawals and even cashback for your purchases, it also bridges the world of crypto and regular currency. In order to get one of these impressive cards, you have to register to the app, link in the description, and complete a customer identification verification. You'll need a phone number and a driver's license, national ID card or a passport to complete your registration. Once you have completed your registration, you have a choice to make. You can pick up the basic card, which is completely free from beginning to the end and requires nothing but signing up and yet is still great. This starter tier card is made of plastic, unlike the premium cards which are made of composite metal. If you can't resist the call of a metal card and some very nice benefits and rewards that come with it, you'll have to enter the Crypto.com MCO ecosystem. All of the card tiers are completely free to use, as in there is no monthly fees, no hidden fees, delivery fees, sign-up fees or any other type of fees. But in order to reserve them, you have to have a certain amount of their MCO token in your possession. It doesn't matter where you got them. You can buy them or have your friend or partner give you some of theirs. All that matters is that you have them and are willing to lock them in the app for a period of 6 months. Once you have done this, you are eligible for that tier of a card for life. We'll start with the Midnight Blue, which is the bottom tier card. It has a special power, which is that it doesn't cost you a single penny to grab one of these bad boys. It also looks quite nice for a plastic card. It has all the necessary features and it allows you to spend your currency, including crypto, and if you are abroad you will enjoy free, perfect interbank exchange rates up to $2,000 and cash withdrawals up to $200 per month. If you go over these limits, you will get a very reasonable charge added on top. In addition, it offers 1% cashback on pretty much anything you buy. This is what truly sets it apart from the competition. Most bank cards outside of the United States can't match this even if they have fees associated with them. And many of them charge fees for withdrawing money and payments in foreign currencies. All this utility for the great price of absolutely nothing at all. On to the Ruby Steel, our second tier card. This card packs quite a punch for its requirement of 50 MCO tokens, which at the time of this video cost around 250 United States dollars, 225 euro or 200 British pounds sterling. In addition, if you use the referral link and code found in the description, you can offset this cost by $50, which makes it even more affordable. If you want to take this to a whole next level, refer your friend or partner yourself afterward. And since you both get a $50 referral and sign-up bonus, your duo could in theory cut the cost of the second card down by 40%. And yeah, you get to keep that money. Because remember, you don't buy the card, you just temporarily lock up your tokens and you can then sell them afterwards if you like. So if you're using this method, you can actually get the card for free and also $50 or $100 on top of it, as long as you are willing to wait for 6 months to regain the access to your tokens. Anyway, onto the perks and what makes this card great. The thing most people will immediately pay attention to is that this card looks freaking amazing. It's made of composite metal and people in general just love the red color of it. There are quite a number of people who don't even realize that metal payment cards are a thing. So if flexing to your friends with a card that looks like you are some kind of a baller is something you're looking forward to doing, the offer just got a whole lot better. With this card, the free interbank and withdrawal rates are doubled compared to the free card. And unless you spend a ton of money or the country you are visiting has basically no card readers apart from ATMs, it should be very reasonable to assume you'd be able to stay within those limits even at this very first and affordable premium tier. When it comes to the rest of the perks, they are tied to the 50 MCO tokens that one has decided to lock to get the card in the first place. You have to keep them locked for at least 6 months, but you don't have to unlock them after that period of time has passed to keep enjoying the maximum benefits. If you do decide to unlock them, however, these additional perks go away and you are left with the same 1% cashback as the free Midnight Blue card. But you get to keep your increased limits regardless. Oh, and the card will still be made of metal. While you do keep the 50 MCO, however, if you are a Spotify user, as long as you pay your subscription with this card, you will get reimbursed for the whole amount in MCO tokens. In addition, your cashback is increased to a total of 2%. Now, we are on our way to the big boy cards. Every time your card tier increases by 1, the MCO requirement and thus the required capital and risk to attain that tier increases tenfold. At this tier, the rewards, in my opinion, easily keep up with the capital requirement. For the first time on that card tier ladder, you are presented with an additional choice. You have to decide if you like the Jade Green better or if the Royal Indigo is your favorite pick. Oh, and in case you were wondering, Indigo apparently means 1 part purple, 3 parts blue. So almost blue, but not quite. Let's start with the stuff that remains even if you decide to sell your 500 tokens after the 6 months are up, or give them to your partner for their own card or whatever. The interbank spending and withdrawing limits are increased even further to a whopping $10,800, respectively. In addition, you'll get the real super perk of this card, which is the Lounge Key Airport Lounge access. It allows you to visit over 1,000 different lounges on hundreds of airports around the world. I'll post a link into the description which allows you to search by city, country or airport so you can see what kind of a selection of lounges you have in the area that you live in or frequently fly to. Keep in mind, we are still at that part where even if you no longer have your 500 tokens, you still get to keep this airport lounge perk. I don't know about you, but I simply can't resist free snacks, food and drinks. While your 500 tokens are locked up, you also get 3% cashback on all your purchases, full rebates on Spotify, and most of your highest costing Netflix premium subscription. If you opt for the standard subscription, that one is covered fully. In addition, and this is very important, you get 6% interest annually on your 500 MCO, paid out every week. This comes to exactly 30 MCO of passive income every year, just for having this amazing card and all the perks that come with it. Finally, the perks don't stop there. If you are utilizing the extremely powerful crypto earn feature of the app, having these 500 tokens locked up will greatly boost your earn annual percentage rates, adding a lot of value to the tier. If you don't know what earn is, you should find out, because it may even dethrone the card as the flagship product of the Crypto.com ecosystem. Moving on to the second highest tier, the Icy White and Frosted Rose Gold cards. Just like the previous tier, you again get to choose from 2 designs. Go with whichever looks better to you. Both of them are beautiful, as they should be at this level of capital required. And that level is quite a lot. You need 10 times more than the previous tier, which would be a total of 5,000 MCO tokens. At the time of recording this video, that's a whopping 25 to 30,000 US dollars, a hefty sum by nearly anyone's standards. So sounds expensive? What do you get for that grand sum? Well, a lot of good stuff, just like with all the cards from Crypto.com. As always, we'll start with the ones you get to keep, even if you later decide to remove your stake, and then move on to the ones that require an ongoing active stake. The limits increase again. A whole total of 1,000 US dollars of free ATM withdrawals per month and a whopping $20,000 worth of free interbank exchange. In addition, that amazing lounge key perk, with this card you get to take a friend with you into the lounge. Your unstaked cashback amount is increased to 1.75%. These are all perks you keep no matter what, as long as you complete the 6-month stake, even if you sell your tokens afterwards. If you decide to keep them locked, however, the perks are that much sweeter. To start, your cashback is pumped up to a whopping 4%. On top of Netflix and Spotify, you also get a monthly Amazon Prime subscription, as well as some rebates if you use Expedia. You also earn the maximum rate of 8% for your stake, which today and since the beginning has been 400 MCO per year in interest. Last but certainly not least, having this stake level active grants you entrance to the exclusive MCO private club. Upon entering, you are getting a welcome pack of merch, such as the Be Cool Like Chris hoodie and some other goodies which you can use to showcase your dedication to the brand to all those around you. In addition, you get 2% additional interest on all Crypto.com non-MCO or CRO earn fixed terms, as well as priority customer support, access to over-the-counter trades, research reports, and possible invites to industry events. The exclusive MCO private club is full of valuable perks, and having read some of these reports myself, they are actually well worth the read in my opinion. Finally, the last tier, the super exclusive Obsidian card. It's black and it's badass, and it costs 50,000 MCO tokens, which is well into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Definitely not for everyone, but if you are a hardcore believer and just happen to have those tokens lying around, you may as well. As exclusive as the card is, your perks are quite similar to the previous tier. Let's start with those that you get to keep even if you end up removing your stake altogether eventually. 2% cashback for all purchases, unlimited interbank exchange rates, but no improvement towards ATM withdrawals over the previous tier. That's still at $1,000 per month. You'll also have the same lounge key perk, you and the guest. If you have an active stake, your cashback goes all the way to 5%, and you are also getting a rebate on Airbnb bookings. There's also a private jet membership thrown into the mix, but it's not exactly what it sounds. You will still be paying for all your travel, and it will be really expensive per hour in the air. If you do that sort of thing though, this will save you some money in membership fees. The 8% stake interest is active with this tier as well, netting you a whopping 4,000 MCO per year. In addition, although both tiers allow entry to the MCO private program, the 50,000 MCO staking members enjoy priority with the industry event invites. And finally, after all that necessary setup, here we are. The best saved for last, the part about what makes each card tier and definitely worth going for. Let's start with the Midnight Blue, though there really isn't much beating around the bush. The best feature of this card is that it has an infinite return on investment. This is also why this tier is great, because you simply can't go wrong with it. You are essentially earning something for nothing, something none of the higher tier cards can offer, even though they do offer a lot more in absolute value. Let's move on to the Ruby Steel. Many call this the best deal, and they might be right. I personally wouldn't place it on the number one spot in the rankings, but it is definitely a sweet deal nonetheless. So, why is this card so great then? Well, the referral bonus for one. Locking, say, $250 for 6 months to get $50 instantly is a great deal already in itself. Even better if that number is actually $100 because your unit is getting a 2-for-1 deal. That is like earning 40% or 80% annualized interest for that first half of the year, which is ridiculously good. And once that interest stops accruing, so to say, you could just cash out if you like to. In addition, you get an amazing card, which if you are a Spotify user, saves you over $10 a month. If we estimate the cost with the bonus to be, for example, $200, you'd break even in a little bit over a year while still keeping your tokens earning you even more savings every month. That's what makes this card so good. The rewards are pretty good. 2% cashback is generous, especially outside of the United States, and reserving the card doesn't carry a lot of risk because of the referral discount and low barrier of entry. And last but certainly not least, it really doesn't hurt that it just happens to be made of metal. Onwards we go to my personal favorite, the 500 MCO level Jade Green and Royal Indigo cards. In my opinion, the 500 MCO tier is the best tier for most people. It strikes a perfect balance of not ruining you financially if something bad was to happen to the company, while also having insane perks and being the first card tier that generates passive income through the improved earn rates and just by itself. The airport lounge feature is a very nice quality of life improvement that you get to keep even if you change your mind about the usefulness of the token or need to temporarily help out your partner to grab their own, so you can both enter those launches together without having to get 1,000 tokens. It's true that this card has 10 times more capital intensive requirements and takes longer to recoup one's initial investment, but the exclusivity of the lounge access, increased rebates in the form of Netflix, interbank spending limits that would be so hard to reach that you don't even have to think about them, make this card a winner and something I can truly recommend to everyone at this steal of a price. Moving on to the Icy White and Frosted Rose Gold cards and the 5000 MCO tier. This is the passive income tier, a true winner for anyone who has enough money in crypto earn. Due to its very intensive capital requirements and additional risk, I certainly do not recommend everyone to get it, but it will definitely serve those that do very well. I could mention that it generates more money back from the perks than the previous tiers, and I would be right, but obviously takes even longer to earn back your initial investment. The quality of life increases in the form of priority customer support, rebates for Amazon Prime, and being able to use the lounge with a friend are certainly good, as well as the fact that this tier has probably the prettiest looking cards on the whole selection. But ultimately, it is the increased earn that makes it worth your while. For every $10,000 you are getting an additional $200 back per year. So it is even possible to raise the return of investment to such high levels that recouping your investment could actually be faster with this bonus alone, assuming you have enough assets to do that. The tier itself also generates 400 MCO per year, which definitely helps bridging the gap. It is important to keep in mind that although the absolute gain in dollars per percentage is always the same for every tier increase, it is a lot harder to find cards that give this level of cashback out in the wild. To understand what I mean, let me explain it like this. If you have a card by another issuer offering 2% back, the first premium tier actually breaks even. Going all the way to 4% is actually a bigger jump than it first seems because it offers you 2% more than what you previously had. And it is really hard to find a card that would offer you 4% back on everything. In other words, because the offering is unique, it has more value because you can't find similar value anywhere else. And finally, the Obsidian Black, the ridiculously expensive card that requires either an insane tolerance for risk or extremely deep pockets, probably both. What is interesting about this card is that the perks are very similar to the previous tier. The additional 1% cashback has lots of value for the reasons I just mentioned, but because of the lack of other new valuable perks, it would be very hard to justify this tier on that alone. 10 times an already steep price for 1% more cashback? There are two things that make this tier worth it for a very specific individual, however. The first is that having 50,000 MCO tokens locked up for your Obsidian Black MCO Visa card allows you to pump your earned capital maximum limit all the way up to $2 million US. If the 1 million of the previous tier wasn't enough for you, this definitely gives you immense value because the extra million could very well generate over $100,000 worth of interest in a year. That alone would make the return of investment of this card drastically higher and could in fact earn back your investment in a relatively quick fashion. The additional benefit is that the whole 50,000 MCO stake generates 8% annually, which is 4,000 MCO. Having 50,000 MCO in crypto earn with the same interest rate would lock these tokens up for 3 months at a time. But once one has completed the initial 6-month lockup, the tokens still keep generating 8% and give all the increased perks, but you can actually withdraw them at any time if you ever need them. If you see a reason to exit, having access to what is essentially a flexible 50,000 MCO earn at 8% can be a lifesaver. In addition, this 50,000 MCO generates interest, but it is not counted towards the 2 million earn limit, which could be a very drastic difference in limits if the MCO token price was to increase substantially. Well, that's all for this video. If you liked it, feel free to hit like and subscribe, and you'll see more videos from me in the future. I do not post only Crypto.com related stuff, although there is still a lot more that needs to be said about this up and coming company, so plenty of videos to do as soon as I get around to them. Stay safe and take it easy.